You know, the governor was caught having secret meetings without notifying the public. You've got the legislature cut out of a lot of things. You've got a lot of municipal questions too about notice and how meetings are done and public testimony and so many other things. What does the world of transparency in government look like now for this?
Well, it hasn't been good. It's taken a big hit as a result of this situation, and we, the people, are much less informed about what our government is up to, as well as the basis for their decisions about this situation. In the name of frankly, for the stated purpose of suppressing information, the CDC is withholding data that is public data that we ought to have to make our own value judgments and make our own decisions about the propriety of the decisions that are made by the state to lock down different counties or justify emergency orders and so forth. I mean, without access to government information, can't make informed decisions about these policies that are being, in some instances, shoved down our throats. So I think there's a big transparency problem right now in state government, and one of the stated justifications for suppressing information on COVID-19 cases by municipality is to keep as many people scared as possible, to keep people indoors and compliant with emergency orders. I mean, that's the stated justification for suppressing this information. Now, my view is, whether it's public record or not, it should not be the product of a value judgment. It's our information, and we ought to have access to it, and we then can make whatever decisions we wish. Back to your question, Matt. I mean, I don't think a court challenge is probably a prudent expenditure of a lot of money. Not that it would be hopeless, but I think the odds would be long for success. I think some of the other steps that people are taking, some civil disobedience, the protests, the advocacy, with the legislators, organizing, those activities, I think, are more effective ultimately in persuading the governor and legislators to take action than a courtroom battle, because the courts, frankly, just aren't really equipped to understand or weigh in an informed way the science and the public health policy issues. And I think in most states, including in Maine, the courts are reluctant to second guess, the PhD scientists who come in with the fancy resumes and so forth when it comes to making these types of decisions. Now, as time moves forward and the kind of urgency of the situation starts to abate, or to the extent the government starts taking really dramatic steps, mandatory steps, there, I think the courts may be more willing to step in.